Whenever we speak about the programming language, we always need to understand that there are two important concepts, which is the loops and the conditional statements. We call it as loop and conditional statements. Conditional statements. So what is loop? What is conditional statements? So how exactly it is used in Python programming language is what we'll be seeing in today's session. Let me take an example of the conditional statements. What is conditional statements? As the name specify, the conditional statements mean to say that it works on some particular condition. It works on some particular condition. For example, let me say I have given you two numbers. Okay, I given you two numbers by name A is equal to 8 and B is equal to 9. So I want to check whether A is greater than B or B is greater than A. Okay, if you want to do that in programming, how to do? There's a condition what I'm putting there. The condition is, okay, whether A is greater than B or B is greater than A. Okay, to check this condition, we need to understand there must be some statements in the backend which is called conditional statements. One more example for that matter. Okay, I want to assign a grade based on your marks. Okay, whether you have scored somewhere around, marks is like around 60. When I say marks is around 60, then I say okay, 60, it is greater than 60 or greater than or equal to 60, then I say it is B plus grade. If the marks is greater than or equal to 70, then I say it is A grade. Greater than or equal to 80, then I say it is A plus grade. So you have multiple conditions to check like this. Based on the condition, I'll be assigning the grade. This is a condition. How to do? Again comes the conditional statements. I'll take one more real world example. Okay, based on the number of amount you are deposited in the bank, we will be assigning the rate of interest. Okay, real world example. For example, when I say you have a saving banks account, you have an SB account, saving banks account, and based on the amount deposited in your saving bank account, assume that you have kept somewhere around 2 lakh. Okay, monthly average balance is somewhere around 2 lakh. So if greater than 1 lakh, then I say the rate of interest will be somewhere around 5.5. If it is less than around 2 lakhs, the rate of interest will be somewhere around 4.5. So depending upon the monthly average balance, because depending upon the monthly average balance, will be assigning the rate of interest. Okay, this is one more the real world example. Okay, I want to go for the voter machine. Okay, I will go to voter machine where that I say that age, if the first I'll check for the age. If and only if age greater than or equal to 18, then I'll check for the gender. Okay, whether gender is male or female. If age is only not greater than or equal to 18, then how much I just check the gender? Directly I can say, boss, your age is not greater than 18. I don't need to check for your voter ID, for your gender. Okay, directly say that you cannot vote. If in case age is actually greater than or equal to 18, then I'll check for the condition whether the gender is a male or a female. Then I'll send him to the male line, or I'll be sending here to the female line. Okay, this is about the different conditional statements where we'll be working on the real world. How exactly all these conditions will be working with respect to Python programming. Whenever we say conditional statements, the first thing what we need to understand is there is something called if. Okay, I'll just have different types of conditional statements what we can see in Python. Okay, the different conditional statements in Python. Let me take an example of different conditional statements in Python. The simple conditional statement is if. Then I say if followed by else. Then I say else if ladder. We say it as else if ladder. Then we say nested else if. So these are the most important topic which need to be covered with respect to conditional statements. We do have switch cases which we'll be seeing in the later sessions. But we need to understand that we have if else if ladder, and nested else if. So these are the different scenarios what we need to learn about Python programming. Let's see with an example of each and everything. So the first thing what I want to explain now is about the if. So what is if? I just want to check if in case the age is greater than or equal to 18, then I say okay, vote. That's it. I'll just check for the condition. I have a variable by name age is equal to 20. I just want to check whether this age is greater than or equal to 18. If the case, I'll say vote. That's it, nothing else. So I say if followed by age greater than or equal to 18, then I say print you can vote. If age is less than 18, then what to do? Okay, I'm not worried about it. I told you it's just an if condition. If age is greater than or equal to 18, I say you can vote. As simple as that. Just a simple if. So when you observe this, you can observe the syntax of if condition. You say if followed by the condition, what you want to check, then as usual it is to, then be careful about the indentation, then print the statement what you want to print onto the monitor. As simple as that. This is about the simple if condition. Okay, now comes the question. Okay, now you have printed that if age greater than or equal to 18, you told you can vote, but not if not, then what to do? Then you must not go for if. I'll be coming back to if and else. Okay, we'll say it as if and else. Okay, let's take an example. Let's see that I already have an age which is not greater than 18 and age is less than 18. If that's the case, then how to handle that? I'll check for the age. I'll say age is equal to 17. Then I say if in case age is greater than or equal to 18, then I say print you can vote. Okay, print you can vote. If in case age is not greater than or equal to 18, then what to do? Then come for else. Then come to else. Then the same is to, then I say print you cannot vote. Okay, simple if else condition, where I have if followed by the age, then I'll followed by the if age is not satisfied, my condition is not true, then I say come to else. The simple if else. So we saw two clauses now. One was simple if, second one was simple if and else. Let's go to something called as if else ladder. Okay, what is if else ladder? Let me take a scenario where you have a marks. Okay, you have a marks, like you have marks around 72. Okay, I have marks on 72. Now I want to assign a grade for it. You have a variable by name marks which is having the marks as 72. Then I need to check whether which grade to assign for you. If that's the case, then I say if in case the marks is greater than or equal to 60, or let me come for the C. One more important thing, whenever we are assigning the grades, or whenever you are having the multiple condition, okay, the highest condition has to be at the top. I mean to say that, okay, whenever I'm assigning something like initially if I assign greater than or equal to 60, it becomes a mistake because the condition will become true. Okay, let me take an example where I'll just write this example, later I'll be explaining you the concept. Okay, let me say if marks is greater than or equal to 80. If in case if marks greater than or equal to 80, then I say print A plus. Okay, then I say if not, then I have else if. In Python it is not else if, it is elif. I say elif. What condition? Elif, the condition marks, elif the marks is greater than or equal to 70, then what to do? Print it is B plus. Okay, then I say elif again. I say elif, what condition? Elif marks is greater than or equal to 60, what to do? Print B. Oh, very good, print B. Else I say fail. See, can you see here that you have multiple else if? We call this as an else if ladder. Okay, elif. How many elif can be added? N number of elifs can be added. This concept we call it as else if ladder. With this we call it as elif ladder. One if followed by elif, followed by elif, followed by elif, finally it is else. So this concept we call it as else if ladder in Python. Okay, so what was the point I was mentioning that time? That is, assume that if you are written something like if in case marks is greater than or equal to 60, then I say you will be getting somewhere like around print B. Okay, print B. Okay, then after that if I write something like else if marks greater than or equal to 70, then I say print, what is it? B plus. Okay, then again I would have written something for A, then for field, assume. In this case, let us understand, for the first case, actually the marks what you have got is 72 itself. Provided the first condition will only become true, because 72 is greater than 60. You're not actually going to the actual event what you want to do, because you are expecting that if greater than or equal to 70, then you want B plus grade. You are writing in the ascending order where you are checking for the 60% first. I mean for the marks greater than or equal to 60, then directly it will print B and it will not come to B plus, because this condition will become true and it will not give an option to come to this condition. So how it works? It works like it checks for this condition. If this condition is true, then it will come out of it. It's done. If this condition is false, okay, then it will check for this condition. If this condition is true, it will go here. If this condition is false, then we'll give an option for the next condition. If this condition is also false, okay, then finally it has to be else. If this condition is also false, finally it has to be else. That is, irrespective whether if executes or elif executes or other elif executes, the else will be executed. Okay, it is a final phase where if it is not case 1 or case 2 or case 3, finally it will be else. So else has to be executed. So whenever you write the nested elif conditions, we always make a compulsion that you have an else statement at the end. Okay, you always have an else statement at the end. If the simple if else case, okay, fine, this is nested elif, right? So I have if, elif, then finally I am coming to else. As simple as that. Okay, so if the condition 1 is not satisfied, condition 2 is not satisfied, condition 3 is not satisfied, finally the final condition, which is else, has to be satisfied. There is no escape with this. This is about else if ladder. We have one more topic, right? We have one more topic which is called as nested else if. Okay, we have something called as nested else if. So what is that nested else if? We'll understand about the nested else if now. Okay, so I'll take the simple example here again. I'll ask the user, okay, boss, please enter your age. I say print enter your age. I check for the age. Okay, just scan for the age. See, every program can be optimized. Okay, we can optimize how much good as possible, but while understanding, we are understanding the concept, okay, not about the optimization. So don't worry about optimization, just understand the concept behind it. So I'm asking the user enter your age. So I say age is equal to int of input. So hope everyone knows now why we are doing int of input. If not, please see our previous videos. Okay, so we say print enter your age. I say int of input. Then I say print enter your gender. Okay, I say print enter your gender. So user will enter the gender. I need to scan it. For the scanning, you have input function. So I say input, then I say something like gender. So now I have the age and the gender. Now what I do is I'll check for the age first. If in case age is greater than or equal to 18, then I will think an option to check about the gender. If in case age is only not greater than or equal to 18, why do I want to gender to tell him whether to go to male line or female line? Not required, right? So I'll just check for the age first. I'll check whether if age is greater than or equal to 18. Yes, if age is greater than or equal to 18, then I say, okay boss, now tell me, show your ID card and say, tell me your gender. If gender is equal to male, okay, understand, we are checking now, it is a conditional operator. Like its conditional operator means to say I'm doing comparison, so it has to be double equal to. Okay, when I say assignment, when I say a equal to 3, this is an assignment, this is single equal to. I'm just assigning 3 to a. This is assignment operator, so it is single equal to. When I say double equal to, it is comparison, so we have to use double equal to only. Be very careful about it. And I'm comparing the string, I'm comparing a word, so it has to be in the double quotes itself. Okay, so if gender equal to male. And one more important thing which is very common, it is just a common sense, right? So when I say enter your gender and I enter the gender as M, under condition, and checking the condition for MALE, this is just a M, this is MALE, again it's a mistake. So you have to enter as male, MALE, then you need to check here as male as it is, because whatever you enter here, that will be stored in gender. I am checking for the gender now. I say if age is greater than or equal to 18, check the condition, come inside and say if gender equal to male. Okay, if gender is a male, then I say print go to male line. Okay, print go to male line. Great. Okay, now if in case no, the gender is not equal to M, then I say else. If not, then I say print go to female line. Okay, print go to female line. Go to female line. Simple. Okay, if not, if age is only not greater than or equal to 18, then what to do? Then directly come to else. Okay, see, you have to observe that I'm maintaining the indentation properly. This else is a part of this if. See, those are the same line, correct? And inside this if, okay, I've written one more if, so I maintain the tab. Okay, I maintain the indentation here. Okay, I maintain the tab space. This else is a part of this if, so these both are in the same line. This order has to be maintained while doing programming, or else it becomes an error. If you are written this if, Okay, somewhere in the beginning of here the compiler understands, okay, this if is a part of this if itself. Okay, it is not an nested if, so it just continues. But if you want this if inside this if, then you have to maintain this indentation properly, then you may start working on it. Okay, so now I have else, then I say print. Okay, say print, you cannot vote. Why you cannot vote? Because your age is only not greater than or equal to 18. No, so I say you cannot vote. So you can observe here it is nested else if. Okay, that is if inside if. It is called as nested if. Now one more condition what you need to capture here is, when I say okay, I just check for the gender is equal to male and I check for gender equal to female. If in case if you have a transgender, then what to do? You can add elif here, right? You can just add elif statement here and check for elif gender equal to transgender. Then I say go to transgender line. Okay, then I say else go to female line, something like that. Okay, so yes, internally you can write nested else if here also. If you want one more nested else if to write inside if, it is possible. We can do that. Provided what you need to understand now is this is a concept of nested else if, that is if inside if. This is one more concept what we need to understand. Okay, so on the whole, whenever we work on the conditional statements in Python, we have to be very conscious that we have only two, that is if and else. We play around with if and else. Okay, we always play around with if and else. So we saw multiple conditions now, which is simple if. Okay, if followed by condition simple if. Then we saw if and else, if and else. Then we saw else if ladder. Okay, we saw else if ladder where we have one if, then elif multiple, which is else if ladder. Then we saw nested else if. Nested else if. Okay, so playing the, okay, just keeping all these four statements, four different conditions in mind, we play around with the conditional statements while doing the Python programming. And as I told you, these conditional statements are very important to understand. This is very important to understand about the programming. Okay, if you understand the conditional statements very well, we can actually do a lot of things while working on the logic based programs. Okay, as a programmers, if you have hold on this conditional statements, then make sure that you are actually good at programming. Okay, as I told you, there are two parts. One is the conditional statement, other one is the loops. Okay, these are the most important topic for every programming language. One is loops and the other one is conditional statements. As we have discussed about the conditional statements is actually classified something like if, else if, nested else if ladder, and the switch case. So coming to the switch case in Python, okay, so most of the cases there's no specific switch cases which is present in Python, but we use some dictionary concept to work on switch case, which we'll not be considering now. We'll be seeing it in later sessions. Okay, but coming to the if statement, how it works practically is what we'll be seeing in the session now. Let me take a syntax of how the if looks. Okay, as we saw that if followed by an expression followed by a statement, else followed by expression followed by statements. Now what I do is I'm just comparing for x is equal to 7. I'm just saying like x is equal to 7. Then I say if x equal to 7, then I say print x. Okay, I'm just checking, as I told you, the first case which is simple if. Okay, I just say if x equal to 7, then I say print x. Okay, what is the catch point here is you must understand that this is double equal to, mean to say it is a comparison operator. This is single equal to, which is assignment operator. Be very careful about it. And we are maintaining the indentation here. I am just entering the if condition so that it understands I need to leave some space here so that the indentation is very clear. Okay, so this is about the simple if. What we need to see is this if followed by else. Okay, so the syntax follows like this: if expression followed by a statement, else followed by a statement. Now the question is, else does not have an expression? No, because as we told, else is something like if not anything, then finally I'll come to else. Okay, so else does not have any condition. Okay, how many number of else can be there? There can be only one else. Okay, and if provided there can multiple elifs. Okay, we'll be seeing that. Provided else does not have any condition, because finally if nothing is valid, finally we'll be jumping to the else condition. Okay, that's what we see. We'll just see an example here. I say x is equal to 9 and we say y is equal to 10. We check if x is less than y, then what to do? Print x, else we say print y. You must follow here that else does not have any condition, if has a condition. Okay, so again the indentation. Okay, then the comparison. Okay, if x less than y, we say print x, else we say print y. Simple. So in this case 9 gets printed onto the screen. Okay, now we will see something called as else if ladder. So how about else if ladder? And the syntax of else if ladder is the same: if followed by expression, then the statement; elif followed by expression, sorry for that, we need to write an expression here; elif followed by expression, then the statement; elif followed by expression, then the statement, then else finally. Okay, so as we saw the syntax here, we'll just see how to code using elif. Okay, we are taking the same example of the marks. We say marks is equal to 70, then we say if the marks is greater than or equal to 90, then what to do? Print a plus. Elif the marks is greater than or equal to 80, print a. Okay, again I'm repeating, indentation is very important. Okay, then greater than or equal to, okay, we are comparing if greater than or equal to, okay, this is about the operator concepts. Okay, we say greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, then double equal to is comparison, single equal to is assignment. We know that very well now. Okay, so I'm checking elif marks is greater than or equal to 80, if not, else if marks greater than or equal to 70, else if marks greater than or equal to 60, finally it is else. If none of this condition is satisfied, then finally we go for the else statement here. Okay, for example, let me put like marks is equal to somewhere around 1000, then what will be the output? The first condition will satisfy, right? Because marks is greater than or equal to 90, the output has to be what? The output has to be a plus. Yes, now let me put something like the marks is 10. Okay, which condition? It is greater than or equal to 90? No. Greater than or equal to 80? No. Greater than or equal to 70? No. Greater than or equal to 60? No. Finally it is else part. It is C. So when you see the output in this case, it is C. Okay, this is what you need to understand. Okay, so now we will be something called nested else if. Okay, if followed by an expression, then if followed by an expression, else followed by expression. So let me directly jump to the coding here. Okay, let me jump to coding here. See, let us understand. I'm asking the user to enter the age. I say print enter the age. He will enter the age. I last enter the gender. He will enter the gender. Okay, and you must understand the typecasting here. I have converted the int of input. When I say int of input, you must understand that I'm converting the input to an integer value. Okay, because by default the input will take string. Okay, similarly I've told gender is equal to input, which means to say that the user enters the gender, which is a string. Okay, it would be either male or female or whatever, that would be taken as a string as it is. Next I'm checking for the condition if in case age is greater than or equal to 18. If this is true, then I'll check for the gender. If not, directly I'll come to else. Okay, be careful about this alignment here. This else is followed by this if. Okay, this you understand, this concept is very important because I am writing if and else here. Whatever the else I have written here is followed by the if which is mentioned here. Okay, and inside I am writing one more if condition, which is nested if. Okay, if the age is greater than or equal to 18, I'll check about this condition. This condition is true, then we'll come inside and check for the gender. If gender equal to male, then I say print enter male line and you can vote. Else I say print enter female line and you can vote. Okay, if age is only not greater than or equal to 18, if this condition becomes false, okay, directly I'll be coming to else. I say cannot vote, your age is not greater than or equal to 18. As simple as that. Okay, if inside if one more if else. Now the condition is, can I write multiple if else, elif and all inside if? Yes, that is possible. Okay, whatever you want inside you can do it, but you must understand, you must be careful with the alignment of the case, alignment of the conditions. This if, this else is followed by the above if, this else is followed by the above if. This indentation, this alignment has to be very proper. If you're not doing the alignment properly, then your condition will not be satisfied, it will be not as expected. Okay, so be very careful about the alignment indentation. Okay, so this is what we got about it. Now I'll just check an example. I just done this. It will ask for age. I say something like 45. Okay, now we'll check for the male gender. I'm saying it is male. Okay, now it says enter male line. Okay, usually people do a mistake. Okay, the people are very freshers to programming. What they do is, I'll just show an output once again. I say something like enter the age. I say age is somewhere around 45. Okay, and enter the gender. I say M. It is enter the female line. So the output. Why? Because you are checking for the gender. Gender is male. I am expecting you have to type it as M-A-L and E. It has to be M-A-L-E. If not M-A-L-E, irrespective of anything else, directly come to else. Correct, right? What else will do? Else finally it checks for the condition. If gender equal to M-A-L-E, then it will enter this line. If not, directly it will come to else, irrespective of anything else. As simple as that. Okay, so you can't expect, okay, we have given M here, but you are not getting the output, it says enter female line, because yes, the condition you have written is something like that. If you want to make it much more optimized, yes, again it comes to the part of optimization. You can make the code much more optimized, where you can say the user enter the gender either as MALE or FEMALE, something like that, so that the user get a notification telling it as my gender has to be entered as MALE or FEMALE, something like that. So the user understands. Okay, for example, let me say like enter the gender. I say enter the gender. Okay, if male, type as MALE. Okay, there is if female, type as if female, type as FEMALE, something like this. So user understand, oh, male, then gender has to type like this. So now we can get a proper output. Okay, so this is a very silly mistake what people do while doing coding. Okay, as we get used on with coding, these things are very easy, it's not such a complex concepts again. But what you need to understand here is the whatever we expect, you have to compare the same, as simple as that. Okay, now even if you are not check for the transgender, if you want, I can put somewhere here. I say something like I can put something like elif. Okay, I can say something like elif. Then I can say for transgender. I say elif gender equal to. Okay, gender equal to. Okay, transgender. Okay, like transgender, or okay, transgender, something like this. Okay, so in this case, okay, this case, or else let me make much more clear. I say something like elif gender equal to female. Okay, gender equal to female. Then I say I'll put a statement here telling it as print enter female line. Okay, print enter female line. Okay, if not, if gender is not equal to male, gender not equal to female, of course it is transgender line. Enter other line. Okay, enter others line, something like this. Okay, so I'll just run the condition now. I'll enter the age is like around 45. Then I say enter the gender, if male type as male, if female type as female. I don't know if not male or female, it's some transgender. I say trans. It enters other line. Okay, so as simple as that. Okay, so this is how we need to understand that nested conditional statements. Okay, this is about nested conditional statements on the whole. Okay, this is about the conditional statements where we understood how if works and how if else works, how else if ladder works, and how the nested else if works. Okay, if you understand this concept very well, then the next part of our assignment, there are some logical based questions or the loops and conditional statements. You can answer this only if you understand this concept very well. Okay, so please make sure you're practicing some examples on the own with if and if else. Okay, so that for our further videos will be very useful for you to understand. Okay, so this is about the conditional statements. We'll be looking after the loops in our next session.